What's up, guys? Welcome to the show today. We're going to be going over some value trades for every position in Dynasty. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't been here before, make sure to please hit subscribe, and I appreciate you checking out the channel. So let's get it kicked off today. Some value trades at every position in Dynasty Fantasy Football. So the first one, we're going to go quarterback, and I'm going to go try to get Jared Goff onto my team. I was looking kind of at the QB ranks, some of the QB values on some sites, and I think Jared Goff is very affordable right now. He's currently QB 18 on KTC, which is good, not great, but there's been rumors of him signing a long-term deal with the Lions. I tend to believe it's going to happen. I think he's played very well with them. I think he fits with their playmakers, right? He can get the ball out to them and let them do the work for him. So I'm suggesting trading DK Metcalf here to go get Jared Goff. DK's been a good wide receiver. I just don't know if he has that top 5 upside anymore, especially with JSN probably taking some steps forward over the next couple years. So it's always tough to get quarterbacks in a super flex league. I totally understand if this trade might not go through, but I'd probably add a kicker on top of DK Metcalf, or maybe just search around for some other assets to see if I can get Jared Goff on my team for a good price. So next, and this one's crazy, and I think KTC is a little tough sometimes, but I think the fact that A.J. Brown might be attainable now, I'm seeing him kind of slip down the rankings on some sites. You know, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Puka, they've all kind of moved in front of A.J. Brown on a lot of ranking sites. And I agree with some of those. I'm not saying that. But, you know, A.J. Brown's basically been a top 5 guy for the last couple of years in Philly. And if we can go get A.J. Brown for T. Higgins and Tony Pollard, kind of tier up at wide receiver, I think it's worth taking a shot in your league and seeing what the A.J. Brown owner is wanting for A.J. Brown. I would definitely use a tier 2 wide receiver and see if I can add something on top of that to go get A.J. Brown. I think T. Higgins is a good one. You know, I think there's some other ones in that middle tier. Maybe you can give Brandon Ayuk in a second, get A.J. Brown, something like that, where we're trying to slightly tier up at wide receiver. But A.J. Brown's still plenty young, and he just really does have that week winning upside that few wide receivers possess in Dynasty. So next, here's a running back we're going to go after. And this one was tough. Like, I'm going to say I'm going to do Romeo Doubs and Jalen Hyatt for Rhamondre Stevenson and a late third. Honestly, I'd probably do them both for Rhamondre Stevenson. It's kind of tough to get running backs, and running backs can be hard to value in the offseason because you're kind of building in this risk that they may be replaced in the NFL draft. But I definitely just think Romeo Doubs is a little too high in rankings right now. I think he's a good player, but he's kind of being valued a little too high for me. I think Jaden Reed's the guy you want there in Green Bay. And Jalen Hyatt, I mean, fine asset, but there's a lot of news coming out. It seems to be maybe Malik Neighbors might be going to the Giants. And if that's the case, like, Jalen Hyatt kind of just gets shoved down the depth chart there. Slayton's still there. Wandell's still there. You know, and I'm not saying we think this is going to be a super efficient offense. I do still think Daniel Jones could be okay if he comes back healthy, but that's a different conversation. But I think Stevenson's a good depth running back right now. That's probably an affordable price. It's kind of hard to pay up for the studs. And some guys after this, I'm a little worried they might get replaced in the NFL draft. So I think Stevenson's a good deal right now. Last one, and look, make fun of me if you want. I think this one's a really low tier, low time trade instead of like a big boy trade like A.J. Brown. But I was kind of just looking around, and let's first say this. I totally get that the Jets may take someone like Brock Bowers, and then this trade's going to look super silly. But all I'm doing is suggesting moving back in the 4th round and picking up Tyler Conklin on your team as a depth tight end. And the only reason I say that is if he somehow dodges the draft, Bowers doesn't go there, he's the starter in an Aaron Rodgers-led offense, and he's probably going to be a top 14, 15 tight end. And if you're getting him for moving back in the 4th round, I mean, that's a great deal. I mean, there is no statistic that shows 4-1 is more likely to hit than 4-12. It's an absolute crapshoot by that point in Dynasty rookie drafts. I think any of us who've played in Dynasty leagues over the years know 4th round's just pure luck, man. They're fun to have, but you're not counting on them. So I think Conklin's an interesting guy to maybe add to your bench, just in the hopes that he is the starter there for the price you're paying to acquire him. So thank you guys for tuning in for a little episode of value trades in Dynasty. Some guys that aren't necessarily buy lows, but just I'm willing to pay their price. I'm going to ask about it, and I'm going to see what it would take to go get some of these guys on my team sub. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have 2 seconds, please hit subscribe below and keep tuning back into the channel. Been loving interacting with you guys in the comments. So thanks for checking it out, guys. Peace.